Temperatures going up steadily. In fact, as we get into the weekend, we get into a dangerous situation with the heat index temperatures way up there, anywhere from about 100, 105. Heat index, that's the primary reason we're going to be talking about this, what's called a heat dome in the upper atmosphere. I mean, high pressure is sinking air, and this, when it's a heat dome, it's several days, even sometimes weeks of air that expands, it bulges out and covers a great deal of the nation. Even in the southwest, Phoenix, Arizona is going to have a high temperature of 117 today. Oh, that's my goodness. That's not heat index. That's the actual air temperature. This weekend, how it's going to feel here in our area, heat indices, the actual, how it feels outside, 100 to 104 degrees. So really, it's a dangerous situation if you're outdoors this weekend. Temperatures way above average from Saturday, tomorrow, all the way to the middle of next week. Couple days there, Monday and Wednesday, where the temperatures are up almost 10 degrees above average. That's a pretty dangerous situation. Here's the actual high temperatures as we go through the weekend into next week. I'll say, for the most part, mid to upper 90s. Those little bitty temperatures Thursday and Friday, that's still above average. A little bit. I know. It's like, what's going on over there? But yes, definitely for the weekend, a time to stay inside as we have a high heat risk all the way across the Charlotte metro area right into the middle of next week. It's been a while. It's certainly been a while since we've seen anything like this. So we're talking about excessive heat risk Sunday and Monday particularly. But I would really say through the weekend all the way into next week, if you have to be outside, make sure you're hydrated. And, you know, you think about there may be people in your neighborhood, elderly people that don't have air conditioning. Right. Make sure you check on them. Make sure the pets have a cool spot and some cool water, something we need to think about. And then here we go. The heat index temperatures, how it feels outside. Gosh, 103 on Sunday, Monday 104. Really impressive.
And that's flirting with heat advisory criteria.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't issue. National Weather Service doesn't do that this week.
And sometimes they'll only do Mecklenburg County because we have what's called the urban heat islands. So just where you have a lot of pavement and everything like that, it doesn't cool off as much as, say, out in the more rural locations. And those maps that Larry was showing was an experimental heat map that they have now for the National Weather Service, and it has actually parts of Mecklenburg County under that extreme level just because it could be at that 105.
We could go back to that. Just want to point out once again that we don't normally see this where you have about 4 days with the heat index over 100 degrees. That's exceptionally hot. Let's talk about the Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. Today in the low 90s, tomorrow mid-90s, and there you go. You see highlighted in red that those days of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, excessive heat. And those were really going to be dangerous. As far as rain chances, you get the little pop-ups here and there, Sunday and Monday, and I think better chance we could see some rain, which we definitely need. It's almost like this, really dry. For the month of June.
Yeah, it's not good because every Thursday the drought monitor comes out, and the most recent update hasn't been fantastic. So let's go back in the past, shall we? Over the last 2 months, April we had the yellow, which represents just abnormally dry conditions. Once you got to about this time in May, notice that pretty much all the Carolinas were free of any sort of drought because it rained a lot in May. May was in the top 10 for the wettest on record. But then notice what's happened over the last couple of weeks. It's flourished, where this is a significant increase. Now, North Carolina, 65% of the state under abnormally dry status. However, that's a 61% increase.
That's a lot.
Oh, wow. That's too much. And we're in the midst of what's called a flash drought. So pretty much instead of a slow, gradual drought, since we've been so hot and so dry in such a quick time frame, all the rain that we saw in May doesn't matter because it's also this time of the year that all those plants that are growing are using up a lot of the moisture in the soil. So it's better off that it actually takes a lot more rain for us to get back to normal. So I want to show you one of these maps that came out. Oh, I forgot this graphic comes next. Never mind. Well, we had over 23 inches of rain so far this year, close to 3 inches above normal. And then, as I mentioned, May had over 7 inches. So that's why this is so crazy. But June has only had an inch of rain. In June, since it is so much warmer, we do need a little bit more rain. So that 1.6 inch difference compared to the normal. And now if you add today's rain that we need, it'd be close to 1.8. But you need at least 3 to 4 inches to not only catch up what we missed, but also make up for what is upcoming. So that's really over the next month. We would need at least 3 to 4 inches, but realistically, it's 5, 6, but not all at once, because if it's all at once, it's going to run off. But Larry, you had already mentioned your rain chances. This was not the 10-day forecast a week ago. So at least we're seeing a better chance that maybe a thunderstorm could try to alleviate things. Before it was just dry and hot.
You know, quite often what does help us in these situations is those tropical systems. So if we get things tropical to come closer to us, then we could get some much of the rain. But then
we're wishing for
you
tropical.
get too much at one time.
Yeah, so.
Like that. So.
Well, hopefully it'll just spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about, obviously, heat all morning long, especially during the show. And so we actually did pull ahead some tips that can help you guys maybe save some money and stay cool. So first, and this is going to sound really weird, but go ahead and close your blinds and then get some aluminum foil covered cardboard.
It's too much work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot, but you might save some little money. And so the way it helps, 76% of sunlight, it actually turns into heat. So that cardboard, the aluminum, shields your windows from letting the heat and the light
It just
in.
reflects off
to
your neighbor.
To your neighbor.
If you drive past that person as that person thinks the apocalypse is coming.
Stop it.
Strange looking house.
Hey, this saving a couple dollars.
Aluminum foil on the window.
And then the second tip, and this is going to get a little bit in your business, but if you do have ice packs, we want to just